I've always enjoyed playing video games, so I wanted to try making one myself. That's why I started learning Godot, and this is how it went. I started by creating a platform and a character that could move around and jump. After adding a camera and some basic environment with lighting, I could finally see how the player moved. Then, I reused the platform and added a box with collision to one side, creating my first obstacle. Doing the same thing on the other side gave me two walls that I could place wherever I wanted. After that, I worked on the main menu. I created a new 2D scene, added a title and two buttons. And with a bit of code, the start button would launch the game and the exit button would close it. Next, I added a way to lose. I changed the collision shape into area 3D nodes, so I could detect when the player hit something. When that happened, the game would return to the main menu. I also added a couple more obstacles. One you had to jump over, and another you had to go under. Then I created a game over screen, which was similar to the main menu, but with a try again button and an option to go back. I also changed the player controls so you could only move left or right and jump, while the character automatically moved forward. Once that was working, I ran into one of my biggest challenges, spawning obstacles. I needed a system that would create them in front of the player and remove them behind. So, I made a script that handles spawning using a list of obstacles, with a few simple rules to keep everything aligned. After that, I moved on to another big feature, camera rotation. I wanted the camera to change perspective during gameplay, which meant I had to rethink how everything worked. At first, I tried using math, but in the end I went with preset positions for the camera to move between. After all that, I added a simple score system based on how far the player travels. It's shown during the game and also on the game over screen along with the high score. The high score is saved when you exit the game and loaded again when you come back. Then I wanted to add something more to the game, so I opened Blender and created this masterpiece. After adding collision to the cactus and placing them in the level, I finally had my first real obstacle. And after adding some color to the ground, I can say that I'm pretty happy with how it turned out so far. It might not look like much yet, but for a first project, I think it's a good start. So next, I think I'll focus on expanding the obstacles. I want to add more variety, like new cactus forms with different poses and colors, and maybe make some of them a bit trickier to jump over. I'm also thinking about introducing obstacles like a rib cage that you can either go over or slide under, and maybe some wall sections where you have to move left, right or stay centered. And on top of that, I could experiment with different types of walls just to keep things visually interesting. I'll try to make another devlog once I've made some progress on this, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. You can also join the Discord if you want to follow the development more closely.